allows us to constructively transform any basis into an n-dimensional vector space of orthogonal basis vectors of V. This transformation always exists and leaves the span of the vectors unchanged. Recall that an orthonormal basis is an orthonormal set of vectors, so both orthogonal and of unit length, which is a basis. The Gram-Schmidt method iteratively constructs an orthonormal basis from any basis B. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to take the basis vectors in set B, the u1s through un's, and we're going to construct a new basis, B prime, consisting of some vectors v1 through vn, where all the v's are orthonormal. We're going to do this through another set of vectors called w's. So we begin by setting w1 equal to u1. Then, for every I from 2 to n, we're going to set wi equal to ui minus the sum from 1 to I minus 1 of the ui's dot wj's over the length of wj squared times wj. Here our index is j. This gives us a complete set of orthogonal vectors w1 through wn. From here, we can construct our vi set by simply taking our wi's and dividing them by the length of wi to come up with the unit length set of vectors v1 through vn. Let's walk through an example of the Gram-Schmidt algorithm. We'll let B be the set containing 2, 0 and 1, 1. We pick W1 to be U1, so W1 is the 2, 0 vector. Then we construct W2 to be U2 minus U2 dot W1 over norm of W1 squared times vector W1. So that's vector 1, 1 transpose minus the dot product of 2, 0 and 1, 1 over length of 2, 0 squared times vector 2, 0. So that's 1, 1 transpose minus 2 over 4 times the vector 2, 0. 1, 1 transpose minus a half 2, 0 transpose, or the vector 0, 1 transpose. So now we've got vector w1, that's 2, 0, and vector w2, that's 0, 1. Those vectors are orthogonal to each other. However, they're not of unit length. So we take vector v1, divide by its length, and we get the vector 1, 0. We take the vector v2, divide by its length. Of course, its length is 1. So we get vector v2. The diagram shows what's going on. Vector w1 is that first basis vector b1. Our b2 is not orthogonal to b1. So what we do is we take w2 to be b2 minus our u1. So we end up with a vector that's perpendicular to w1. And then we just normalize to get our projection of b2 and our u2. Here's another example. We'll let B be the set consisting of 1, 4, negative 2, 2. We're going to try and find another orthonormal basis using Gram-Schmidt. So our W1 is the vector 1, 4. Our W2 then is our our negative 2, 2 minus u2 dot w1 divided by w1 squared times w1. And so we end up with the vector negative 2, 2 minus 6/17 times the vector 1, 4. So that leaves us with the vector negative 40 over 17 and 10 over 17. Normalizing these two vectors, we get v1 is 1 over root 17 times the vector 1, 4. v2 is the vector negative 4, 1 times 1 over root 17. So again, you can verify very quickly that these vectors are orthogonal to each other, and because we normalized, they're obviously of unit length. In our final example, we'll take a set B consisting of three-dimensional vectors 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 3, 2, 1, 1. And we're going to again use Gram-Schmidt to find an orthonormal basis. So W1 is going to be U1, so that's the 1, 2, 1. Our W2 is going to be our U2 minus the part of U2 that comes from U1. So that's going to be our 1, 1, 3 minus the dot product of 1, 1, 3 and 1, 2, 1 divided by the norm of 1, 2, 1 squared times the vector 1, 2, 1. So when we simplify that, we get the vector 0, negative 1, 2. Now W3 has to be orthogonal to both W1 and W2. So we take U3. We subtract off the part that's parallel to W1. That's U3 dot W1 over W1 squared times W1 minus the part that's parallel to W2. So that's U3 dot W2 over norm of W2 squared times W2. We're adding all that together, we get negative 1 over 30 times the vector 35, negative 14, 17. Normalizing that, we get V1 is 1 over root 6 times the vector 1, 2, 1. V2 is the vector 1 over root 5, 0, negative 1, 2. Vector V3 is 1 over root 57 times 35, negative 14, and 17. In our next video, we're going to talk about rotating vectors.